Assalamu alaikum, dear students of class ninth. Dear students, today we will try to understand the next abiotic component of the environment. We studied so far the air, the water, which are both the abiotic components of the environment. Today, let us try to understand soil, which is also the abiotic component of the earth. So, dear students, as you know, that soil is that portion of Earth's surface which consists of disintegrated rocks and decaying organic matter for providing support to many plants and animals. So, dear students, the soil is that part of the earth. Soil is that part of the hydrosphere which sustains life for plants on the earth. So, soil is the topmost layer of the earth or the lithosphere on which the plants are grown, the plants are cultivated. The soil contains essential nutrients for the survival of plants. The soil contains some of the microorganisms. The soil is aerated, the soil is fertile, the soil consists of some living organisms like earthworms, which are the main source of fertilizing the soil. So, dear students, the thickness of soil on the earth ranges from few millimeters to 3.4 meters. Terrestrial plants depends on their nutrients, water supply and anchorage upon the soil. It means the plants which are present on the soil, they get water and minerals from the soil. Besides getting water and minerals from the soil also encourages these plants, means they hold these plants. For aquatic plants, the soil is important cheap storage of nutrients which are available to the water medium. So formation of soil is done by some process rather like weathering and pedogenesis. Weathering means breaking of bigger rocks into fine smaller particles, that is called as weathering. Weathering means simply the breaking of big rocks into small fine materials. It is said that the inch of soil, for the formation of inch of soil, hundreds of years are uh, used to form just an inch of soil. So, in the weathering process, the weathering may occur as a result of temperature, wind, rain, water, ice, snow, running water. When these result the weathering processes, such a weathering is called as the physical weathering. So physical weathering means the breaking of rocks as a result of climatic factors. Suppose a temperature is so much high that a rock is broken down into pieces, or the temperature is so less that the rock freezes and is broken down into small pieces. Sometimes wind, sometimes rainwater also break the rocks and results in the formation of soil. Such type of this weathering is called as physical weathering. Similarly, there is another type of weathering that is called as chemical weathering. Chemical weathering, it involves some of the chemical reactions which takes place in the rocks because the rocks contain the different minerals. So the weathering when occurs as a result of certain chemical processes like hydrolysis, hydration, oxidation and reduction. These are some of the chemical reactions which are involved in the breaking of rocks to form the soil, uh, because Chemical weathering involves the breaking down of complex substances by carbonic acids present in water and by acidic substances that are drawn from the organic matter in the soil. Such type of weathering is called as chemical weathering. Another weathering is biological weathering. So weathering means the breaking. Biological weathering means when the living organisms are used to break the rocks to form soil. You see some of the lichens, some of the bryophyta plants and other plants living on the rocks and produce acids when accelerate the process of rock weathering. So some of the plants that are grown on the rocks, they drop some of the acidic substances on the rock. These acidic substances break the rocks, and you see in some of the rocks the roots that uh, may that the roots that are in the rocks. When the roots grow, the growing of root also is responsible for the breaking down of rock. So such type of rock is weathering is called as biological weathering. So dear students, in the another video we will discuss the pediogenesis, soil development, how is the soil formed, uh, besides the weathering processes. So dear students, stay connected.